So you know how you can go your entire life not knowing about something, and then you learn about it and it becomes like the fixation of your life. And it could be something super ordinary too. Like for example, being strapped into the bucket of a 25-ton Komatsu PC210LC excavator and getting spun around and around until, quote, you were spinning with joy in no time. So this is a real ride called the Spin Dizzy at a real theme park called Diggerland that was founded by a construction magnate multi-millionaire. And it's themed around construction equipment. It's crazy. It sounds like it's fiction, but it's real. It's one of the weirder things I've heard about lately, except for the car from that last video. That was quite weird. Man, if I don't get to spin on this thing, I might just spin out in this room. But it's okay. All we have to do is just find the nearest Diggerland. That's fine, that's easy. Okay, so that's a church. Diggerland, USA. That is too far. Yorkshire? No. Kent? No. Diggerland, Durham? Diggerland, Devon. No, they're all too far. How about Diggerland, Australia? Yes. Why is there no Diggerland, Australia? Now, the construction equipment theme, it's kind of like, but hear me out. Maybe it's kind of genius. You take the family, the kids can operate tons of machinery. Like literally, they can operate tons of machinery. If I had have known about this place when I was a kid, I probably would have lost my mind. You know, as opposed to losing it as an adult. Like, did anybody else have a Tonka truck? You just have Tonka truck plus sand pit, and that's just hours of entertainment. Just shoveling sand into the back of that thing, tipping it out, shoveling it back in again. And maybe that's the great tragedy of becoming an adult, because deep down what we all truly want is to be sitting in a sand pit, playing with our Tonka truck, with poo-poo in our pants. But instead we have all these pressures. We come home after working 9 to 5, we pay the bills, we do the cooking, we do the washing, we watch Game of Thrones, traumatize ourselves, and then sit on the couch and wonder if we will be alone forever with poo-poo in our pants. But hey, maybe that's just me.
The left lever can actually move the digger side to side just like this, okay?
So the ride is just straight up operating an excavator. I mean, it does look fun, kind of. All it's missing is this guy having like a really like on-brand name.
Digger James here.
Hold the phone. I'm booking a couple of tickets to Kent. Now, I don't know if anybody else would relate to this, but if you work in like a fun industry, no matter how fun that is, you always end up sort of associating it with work, so it loses its mystique. So I'm just trying to imagine the guy who operates excavators for a living going to this theme park. I mean, is he gonna have a good time? Oh, Dad, you've got to try this ride. It's so much fun. You get to dig holes. Yes, son, but you see, because I drive these machines for my job, it would be no fun for me. I'm actually working on a hole right now. It's quite large. Perhaps too large. You gotta give up, Frank. The H-Link doesn't have much more left in her. Gary, I'm not giving up on you, mate. Hold on. Think of your son. I'm not giving up on you. Raise that boy right. He's a good lad. Do it for me. Goodbye, Frank. No! Gary. Oh, sorry, son, but like I was saying, this ride would bring me no amount of joy. Only pain. Okay, son, I will give it a go, but I will have no fun. No, these are some impressive ISO controls. Suppose I'll grab the old stick boom. Oh, quite a nice grip. Wait, is this the new PC55 model? It's no fun if you can't move this thing. That's better. Yes, quite good. Hugh, a patron has taken a PC55 and gone rogue. He's tearing up Diggerland. But how on earth did he figure out the override sequence? Well, according to our intel, his name is Frank Frankington Jr., and he's been an excavator operator for over 30 years. That name, though, it rings a bell. Oh, son of Frank Frankington Sr. Great Scott, we can't have another excavation of 77. Ready my exoskeleton at once. Yes, sir. Forgive me, Father. I promised I would never suit up again, but Diggerland needs me. Forgive me. I'm digging this. A nice one, Frank. Good digging pun there. No! Dig this. So let's talk about Hugh Edenlau. This is Hugh. Say hi, Hugh. Or not. Rude. So Hugh founded Diggerland in the late 90s, but in the decade beforehand, he'd been building up a company known as HE Services, which is, quote, the largest supplier of digging construction machinery for hire in Europe. And I looked it up. This company has a market cap of $1.76 billion. So the question is, how did Hugh go from straight edge businessman to Willy Wonka with excavators? And world record holder of the longest excavator tightrope. And we'll get back to that. Now, I'm going to read most of this from the Diggerland website as well as the website of his construction company. But to be honest, if we read the whole thing, it's just doing a lot of that word that Hassan always uses, glazing. It is glazing him. He is being glazed. But it is his website, so I guess it's his prerogative to do whatever he wants there. If he wants to be glazed, if he wants to be a glazed Krispy Kreme donut, let him be. It's 2024. All I ask is one thing. Diggerland, Australia. Hugh? But there will be like copious amounts of glaze, just followed by venting. I'll show you. Hugh never shies away from rolling up his sleeves and getting stuck into whatever task needs doing, nor will he ask anyone to do anything he cannot or is not willing, ready, and prepared to do himself. As fearless as he is tenacious, neither the recession of the early 90s nor the global economic meltdown of 2008, or indeed the recent global COVID-19 pandemic, put either Hugh or his business down. It was a struggle, of course, and not without challenge and sacrifice. It really sucked. Hugh, you wrote this. I know you wrote this. And I know exactly how it went down too. Okay, Hugh, think strong image here. No economic recession. Okay, Hugh, think strong image here. No economic recession, pandemic, Black Death, Battle of Hastings, Battle of Helm's Deep. This thing just writes itself. Oh, God. Hugh's shedding his mustache. Now, I'm joking around, but like, he does have the archetypical story of a hardworking young entrepreneur. As a 16-year-old, he went out and bought a secondhand JCB, which is like a tractor. So, just typical 16-year-old things. He then offered himself and his machine for hire to construction and civil engineering sites in Kent and the southeast. So this man was 16, and he went out and bought himself a tractor. Dude, when I was 16, that was not on my radar. Like, not that I had the money to buy a tractor, but if I did, I would have just spent it all on 5Gum and Mod Nation DLC. Why did they shut down the service? Hugh hit on the idea of Diggerland following a family open day in 1996. The children were fascinated by all the machinery, and by just sitting in the cabs of diggers, which to them were larger than life toys, it seemed their playrooms had come to life. It literally made their day. And from seeing this, Hugh could see an exciting venture, and the concept for Diggerland was born. I mean, it is wholesome. I'm just thinking about the other guy though. The guy who went the opposite direction. The guy who was in theme parks and then found himself in construction equipment. I mean, that's the real story. Oh, Craig, the theme park business has treated me well. I've made enough money for 100 lifetimes, but I always wished I'd gotten into an industry with more joy. Something such as construction equipment, But I just don't have any good ideas. Funny you say that, Hugh, because, well, construction equipment is actually a passion of mine. You see, every night after I get done clowning around, I sit in my tent and obsess over brand new designs for construction equipment. They're quite good. It could make somebody a lot of money, I think. But I just don't have the capital to do so. No, Craig, I've just struck a brilliant idea. I would just like to thank everybody for coming out to yet another year of Construction Con. And this year, we have a couple of newcomers, so be kind and allow me to introduce Hugh and Craig the Clown. Take it away, lads. So I'm sure you've all heard of a unicorn before, a unibrow, and the unibomber, but you have never heard of a uni-excavator. I present the univator. Oh, honey, look, it's our new construction contract. Ah, look at our boys, hard at work. What do you think? Don't give me those eyes, you know what they'll do to me. I'll crush the car when we get home. Okay, so that bit was pretty silly, but I just want you to know, the original bit that I wrote was too dark. I had to cut it. Basically, I was going to be like, good thing Hugh wasn't in a more dangerous industry when he founded this theme park. Otherwise, that could have been a different story. And then the bit involved uranium and radiation poisoning. And I was like this close to ordering a hazmat suit off of Amazon. So let's be glad I learned how to do clown makeup. Now, one of my favorite things is like the vaguely, or maybe not so vaguely, the not so vaguely threatening descriptions of some of the rides on the websites. Like for example, with the Spin Dizzy. You would be forgiven for thinking that Diggerland treats its visitors like dirt. But in a sense, with Spin Dizzy, you would be right. I mean, this is innovative. I never would have guessed that the feelings that you get from your dominatrix, you can get from a theme park ride. I mean, I can't. Skippy, why is there no Diggerland Australia? You never have anything useful to say. Hold on as you're sent spinning in the opposite direction. The Spin Dizzy shows no mercy and takes no prisoners. You've been warned. You've just described a saw trap. Is this the next saw? Is this saw 11?
You want to play a game?
Let's have a look at the ground shuttle. This seems relatively tame in comparison. Some folks might cling on for dear life. Okay. Well, look, when I hear this language, there's only one thing that really comes into my mind. And that's Hugh Edenlau's world record excavator tightrope attempt.
I will be climbing into this digger that you can see over my left shoulder here.
I believe in you, Hugh. Let's go.
Well, I'm about 20% across.
Hugh, that is not 20%. That's not 20%. You're way too successful in business to be this bad at math. 20%.
20%.
Maybe you should have spent less time on your tractor and more time in math. This is why you stay in school, kids, because you end up a billionaire. You can't math.
It's a bit windy up here.
I mean, I would not do this. I think if this comes off, he's cooked. All right, Hugh, hit him with the emote. They love the emote. Yes. I guess we know why they call him Hugh now. Because of his name that his parents gave him at birth. Let's check out some of the behind the scenes content that they post on their TikTok as well.
What is your favourite ride or drive? What is my favourite ride or drive? What is your favourite ride or drive? Spin Dizzy.
Cool, rub it in. Great, thanks. It's just not the same.
This right here is Spin Dizzy. This
Stop!
might be a little bit too much for everyone. So we have a ride. And one of our most commonly asked questions about the rides that we have that spin, like Dig Around and Spin Dizzy, is do our operators get dizzy? Like our cameraman?
Yeah, I have wondered this. Give me the answer.
Like our cameraman said, they do not. Being in the center, it makes it a lot easier to focus on just one point, hence not getting as dizzy.
It's just like, do your operators get dizzy? No! Why? Because. Hey, this Spin Dizzy ride here is really cool. I'm just interested to know, like, do you operators ever get dizzy, you know, spinning around in that cabin there? No, never. Ah, good. That's so comforting to hear because I'm about to ride this thing. Where do I sit? Yeah, well, if you three there just head over to those seats, that would be perfect. Come on, fellas, get a move on. I think what I've come to realize after all of this is that I don't need Diggerland to be happy. I only need 3 things.